Welcome to week 3, Wide Right CFB. I'm here with my buddy Lindsay. What's happening, Lindsay?
Hey everyone, how are you?
Today is it's a somber day. We'll go with the somber day. It's the 24th year anniversary of 9/11, and every day we thank everybody that ever had any part of 9/11. Between the first responders, the people that were in the planes, the people that were in the buildings, our thoughts and prayers are always with you. I think about you every day. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about you. And then with the unfortunate events that happened yesterday, all I can say is it's a real short time that we're here, and make sure that you tell the people closest to you that you love them. So,
amen to that.
That's all I can say. We're kind of waiting on Jude to show up. I don't know if Lindsay's going to be. I don't know if Lindsay's going to be here today or not. I'm not sure. But we are joined by Pat Paulson. Pat, thanks for joining in. Brian Stewart says, "Hello, ladies." Or, "Hey, ladies." It's good to see you, Brian. We appreciate you being here. We always love it when people are here. I've been saying for weeks that we're not going to be live. We're not going to be live, and then every week we're live. I don't know. I think it was the opposite. Yeah. We just fly by the seat of our pants. You know what I mean? It's an easy thing to do.
It's just that like, kind of smart lady that keeps our viewers coming back week after week.
All three of them. Man, all three of them. It's good that at least two of them are my parents. Kidding, my dad doesn't watch. All right, let's hop right into it, Lindsay. There's no other thing to do it but to do it, right? So,
that's right.
We're going to start off with our salute to our service academies. Now, my service academy last week, that'd be the Coast Guard Academy. They did not fare too well, but I'm going to give you some impressive stats here. You ready for some impressive stats? So, the Coast Guard Academy lost to the University of New England 56-49 in overtime, right? So, it was a hell of a game. Right. Check this out. Coast Guard Academy had 718 total yards of offense. Very balanced attack, though. We had 332 in passing and 386 in rushing versus University of New England's 295 and 352. Penalty yards. Coast Guard Academy only had 7 penalties for 54 yards. University of New England had 10 for 89. But here's where the metal meets the road. Coast Guard Academy only had 29 first downs. University of New England, 33. Third down, Coast Guard Academy was only 11 of 18. University of New England, 15 of 25. And then University of New England, 4 of 4 on fourth downs. A lot of fours.
Wow. And
then time of possession was pretty evenly split as well. 28 minutes to 31 minutes. Almost 32 minutes for University of New England. So this week, Coast Guard Academy is hosting Curry College. I don't know anything about Curry College. I'm picking the Bears to win. What's that?
It tastes great. If you like Indian food, Curry College is the place.
You say potato, I say no thank you. All right, Lindsay, tell me something good about the Merchant Marine Academy. I know they have a W.
They do. They beat Montclair State University, and the score was 29-15. This one was done in the air. The total yards between them was MSU had 172, Merchant Marines had 431. So it was lopsided there. Passing yards, very similar, but no team had a passing game. MSU only 60 yards. The Merchant Marines only 6 more yards than they had at 66 yards. It was all done in the air. It was all done rushing. On the ground, the rushing yards is where this all gets told out. MSU, 112 rushing yards. Merchant Marines, 365. Wow. And the total time of possession is only about a 10-minute difference. But that's all that the Merchant Marines needed to capitalize on their running game. And when you have an effective running game, it also gives you an ability to manage the clock better than if you're just relying on the pass alone. So they capitalized on all facets in that regard. I'm happy to say they came away with the win, and I would look for them to do pretty well next week against your school, Cass. They're playing Nichols, and they're out of Dudley.
Well, hold on a second. There's a couple of different Nichols. There's Nichols College, which is up in New England. I'm going to say New England area. Yeah, well, it's closer to the. And then there's Nichols State, which is in Louisiana. But they're both spelled
in Dudley, Massachusetts.
Dudley, Mass. Mm-hmm. And I've never been to. I don't know if I've been to Dudley, Mass, or not, but I have been to Boston. Believe it or not.
Great city.
I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. It's very clean. The subway was really clean. The people were very friendly, even when they were pissed drunk at the Red Sox game. It was still fun.
Like it's like there's a river that runs through Boston. It's the Charles River, and there was a song that was popular in the '80s, and had this great line that started down by the river, Charles. That's where all the muggers, hookers, and thieves, but they're cool people. And it's a great city for a lot of reasons. If you love U.S. history, it's awesome. It really is to credit a lot of things that founded this nation. So it's a fun place to visit for sure.
I mean, yeah, we can go more into Boston on another day. I think we're going to try to keep things kind of on the speedy this week.
All right.
Since we're missing some people for our conference breakdown here, we're just going to roll through the conferences together. You know what I mean? And then we're just going to look at games that aren't on our ones to watch or our what do we call that? Our other segment? We have another name for it. I got to hop over to the banner real quick and see.
It's called
head to head. Our head to head. I'm going to go back to the comments so Brian Stewart can converse with us. He said, in his best Valvina's voice, he said, "Hello, ladies."
And he followed up with sign up with ISN. Good for you, man. They're a good tool supplier. You'll be happy with doing business with them, I think.
All right. Out of the American college football schedule, we have the American Conference here. Oklahoma takes on Temple. Temple is a much improved team under Casey Keeler. We look for them to have a good showing, but I still think OU wins that game. Scanning some other game, Memphis at Troy could be interesting. Washington State at North Texas could be interesting. A big game out of the American Conference is University of South Florida versus Miami. That actually made our ones to watch, along with Duke at Tulane and Navy at Tulsa. So we have some good games coming up. If you have a game in that conference you want to talk about, post it in the comments. Let us know what you think. We're going to move on to the – go ahead.
No, another good close game be Florida Atlantic and Florida International.
The battle – I think it's Miami, game. Right? The Battle of Miami.
South Florida and Miami. And then – yes.
I think they're both in Miami. Well, Florida Atlantic might be in Boca Raton.
Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, and then Pitbull Stadium in Miami. So, a lot going on in Florida this week. It's worth watching.
Throw a dart. All right, so let's move on to the All-Coast Conference. We have NC State at Wake Forest, which we all picked the game, and currently – I don't know what the score is. I need to look and see. It's still going. I saw that NC State had taken a late lead, and I threw this in the chat because I didn't get my picks in until kind of late, even though Lindsay didn't get his picks until kind of late also.
In fairness, Drew got them in for me earlier.
Yes. We all took NC State, but I said I was willing to take the L regardless of the outcome if being late because I had picked them when they were down 14-0. So, I had already picked them, but I hadn't sent my picks in yet. But
with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, NC State's 34, Wake Forest 24. So,
I'll let y'all decide. I bet if I go undefeated, I bet we have a differing opinion on this. And then in the All Coast Conference, we have Clemson at Georgia Tech, which is in our head-to-head matchup. Pitt at West Virginia, rivalry game in our head-to-head matchup. South Florida at Miami. Of course, Miami's in the ACC. South Florida's in the American. And then we also have Duke at Tulane and Minnesota at California. For some reason, we're playing a game at 9:30 p.m., but it's also on our ones to watch. We're gonna talk about this later. Lindsay, give me something from the ACC. I'm gonna pick a game. I'm gonna ask you. You tell me what you think. Boston College at Stanford. We're talking coast to coast.
I like BC on this one. I think they're going to have what it takes. So you have a little stouter defense, and they can move the ball pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they cover that spread of 13.5. The over-under is at 44.5. I bet we're going to see it a little higher than that because I think each team is going to be capable of scoring pretty well. But BC is going to come out ahead, and I would look for them to score at least 30, 35 points on this and take the over.
Boy, didn't they look really good last week? They looked like a solid football team.
I think more than a few people were surprised at how well they did. So good on them. I really am rooting for them this week coming up.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, we're bringing on another panelist here. Welcome, cool Jude Santa Cruz. Jude, we can see the top of your head, but that's about it. Oh, there he is.
He has a great-looking visor.
Yeah. Lindsay was complimenting you on the roof of the vehicle.
How's everything going? Man, don't fire me, guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. We're only supposed to record this the last 3 weeks in a row. The guy that handles the recording part is kind of letting y'all down. So
that's all right.
But we just covered the ACC and the American. We're going to just talk about the games that we're not going to talk about here in a minute. Tomorrow night, we have a couple of games, and I'm going to tell you one team that's not going to make the ones to watch for the head-to-head matchup this week, and that's Kansas State at Arizona. Kansas State has not impressed me. They've been the opposite of impressive. Whatever that word is, they have been unimpressive.
Didn't we all take them week one and they lost?
It's the Ireland hangover. I really wish they wouldn't play the Ireland game. I really don't like it. There's not teams that play in that game have really bad records for the most part. I know Notre Dame has had a different record, but I really don't like the Ireland game. I really don't like the Ireland game.
So, Michigan State, it killed them a couple of years ago.
I wish that we'd stop playing international games for college football. Hawaii isn't international enough.
Yeah, everybody just scheduled a game in Hawaii.
A heckler just tore his Achilles tendon?
And
where was that at? There's a pro game going on. I'm watching it right now. The Packers are leading by a lot to not a lot. 27-10.
Who tore the Achilles tendon?
I don't know. Brian Stewart was telling us the Washington Racial Skins heckler just tore his Achilles tendon. I don't like calling them the Commanders because there's plenty of people out there that want them to change back to their old name, and I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me.
Including the family of the person that their logo was designed after. That family wants them to stay the Redskins.
The only one that I really don't like is the Cleveland Indians being the Guardians because Austin Eckler, I think he's saying Eckler, not Heckler. The Indians were literally named, the two Indians that were on the team were like, we should be called the Cleveland Indians. That's how they got the name. The guys that were actually playing on the team we should be called the Cleveland Indians. It's just,
And decades later, the white guilt sank in.
What's that?
Decades later, the white guilt sank in.
Yeah. All right, enough of that. All right, so on to other matchups in the Big 12. I don't like Kansas State. Oh, Texas Homespun. I think I know who this is. Texas Homes. I didn't think that channel existed anymore.
I thought I signed in using a different account. Sorry, that's me. I know I chose my other account.
I made you a moderator? What the hell is going on here?
Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my goodness.
In the world. Whew.
All right. We got to hustle because I think Jude's on his lunch break right now.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all good. We're just going to run through a couple of games in each conference real quick. One to watch.
You tell yourself you're going to eat healthy from now on, but then it's 8:15 at night. It's the first morsel of food you've had today. You end up getting egg rolls and fries at Jack in the Box.
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see the issue.
I'm not.
All right. Let's let's talk about a game that's not going to make our head-to-head, but I think it's an interesting game. Number 20, Utah at Wyoming, 7 p.m. on CBS Sports Network from War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming. Utah is favored by 23.5. Last year, Wyoming didn't impress me a whole lot, but I just think that sometimes you go play in the Great Plains, things can happen. So, but Utah wins this game without a problem. I think Utah's not going to cover that 23.5.
I think they'll win, and I think they'll cover. Wyoming is a tough place to play because of the elements and all that, but it's a tough place to play for Wyoming. You know, I mean, they had one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now on their team, and they couldn't do anything with them. I don't know why the team would be any different now. I'm going to take Utah to cover.
Then we got another game that features a lot of purple. Abilene Christian travels to TCU. If you like purple and white, you're going to see a lot of it. So that game's at Amon G. Carter Stadium. TCU is going to win that one by a ton. All right, we're going to roll on to the Big Ten. Big Ten's got a few games this week that are in our head-to-head. I don't think Oregon and Northwestern's a great game. If they play this game 2 months from now, I would say Northwestern may have an advantage because they play on the side of a lake right now. And, you know, when it's 12 degrees and there's ice and snow on the field, it gives them an advantage. I mean, the Ducks can't fly in the ice. Brian, we're going to get to that Wisconsin-Alabama one shortly. We're going to talk about that with Jude. I don't really see anything that really excites me. Central Michigan's not going to beat Michigan. Youngstown State's not going to hang with Michigan State. Ohio, although Ohio beat West Virginia last week, they're not beating Ohio State. And then UMass, well, you know, they're not beating Iowa. I as much as I want them to win that game, it's not happening.
Now, this conference is really lopsided this week. The only one I would think worth watching is Minnesota, California. That might be the closest game this week.
But we're talking about that one here in a minute. So, our head-to-head matchup. You must check the notes.
I'm on Jude's schedule. I had dinner at 8:30 and just.
All right. So we're rolling over to the Conference USA, the Conference of Champions, only because there has to be one. Conference USA, UConn is traveling to Delaware to take on, I believe they're called the Blue Hens. Delaware last week, they lost to Colorado, but they forced Colorado to use 3 separate quarterbacks in the game. So Delaware could prove to be difficult to deal with. I'm just throwing it out there. And then we have Jacksonville State at Georgia Southern. I think that's the only other. Well, Lizzie brought one up. I'll go with this. Lizzie, I'll let Lizzie take the lead on this one. Florida Atlantic at Florida International at Pitbull Stadium in Miami, Florida. FIU is favored by 2.5 with a whole lot of points on the board. Lizzie, what do you think about that one?
I think it's a toss-up. It's going to be a nice close game. One of the ones worth watching for sure if you like a good close football game. I would caution you that's probably going to be have more than its share of sloppy play and a lot of penalties. But I think when you have two teams that are fairly closely aligned, it's always fun to watch. This is going to be one of them. I don't feel bold enough to pick on this one for sure because it's going to be so close that it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last, I think.
No. And then we're going to go over to Mac. Check out some action here. If y'all wonder why I keep looking back to my left, it's because I have the screen with these guys on it to my left, and then my camera's to my right. Because if I panned my camera back this way, you'd see all the mountain of crap that's behind me. You're running a business. I'm just collecting trash.
Yes, my trash is called packing material.
Yeah, you're running an actual business. I'm just collecting junk. I would say the only game out of the MAC that really interests me would be, I'm going to say Akron and UAB. And I think UAB wins it by so much that it's not even close. I think they beat Akron by more than the 11.5. That's my MAC update. Central Michigan's going to get smashed by Michigan. Buffalo and Kent State, Buffalo's going to win that game by a lot. Kent State is awful. They're the worst program in FBS. Morgan State at Toledo, Toledo's going to win that game. New Hampshire at Ball State, Ball State's going to win that game. Liberty at Bowling Green is probably going to be a good game, but it's two really bad teams facing each other. So I don't like that. And then Ohio's going to get smashed by Ohio State. Western Michigan's going to lose to Illinois. Eastern Michigan's going to lose to Kentucky. Eastern Michigan's not good. UMass is going to go down to Iowa. And Akron is going to get smashed by UAB. It's going to be a bad week for the MAC unless you're Buffalo. Just throwing it out there. Yeah. And then we head over to the Mountain West, the mighty Mountain West. We got New Mexico at UCLA, and that's tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Jude, are you calling the upset? Is New Mexico beating UCLA? UCLA is favored by 14.5.
See the 0 and the OK symbol? That's an O and a 3 at the same time.
Oh, going for the goose egg. All right. I, too, will join with Jude. Nevada beats Middle Tennessee State at home. Nevada's a pretty decent team. Utah beats Wyoming. Jude's going to take the Air Force Academy over Utah State. We're going to talk about that in our head-to-head. Southern, I don't know who Southern University is, but they're going to lose to Fresno State. And Hawaii is going to pick up another win versus Portland State, and they're going to start the season 3-1. All right, and that is the Mountain West. Check out Hawaii. We got a beat reporter on the case right now, so he's doing some research. We head over to the Pac-2, which will be the Pac-8 next year. We have Oregon State at Texas Tech. Oregon State's going to get smashed in that game. They are not a good team. And then we have Washington State at North Texas. Could actually be a pretty solid game. That was at 2:30 p.m. on ESPNU. North Texas favored by 5.5, but don't sleep on Washington State. That's a good team. That could be a solid game. I think that if we're looking at a Pac-12 game, I think the Washington State-North Texas game is a Pac-12.
Imagine if they still had that quarterback that's at Oklahoma now, man, Washington State could be scary.
Well, we'll just see how he does through the rest of his schedule because really he hasn't played anybody yet. We'll just have to see, right? I mean, we're still in the wait to see moment because he looked kind of, I don't know. I have a different opinion on that. And then we'll switch over to the Southeastern Conference here, and then we're not going to talk about Oklahoma and Temple. Oklahoma wins the game. I think Temple makes it interesting because Temple's a lot better than what people think. But you got to remember, whenever you're playing a Power 5 school versus a group of, really it's Power 4 versus a group of 6, your ones could be real similar, but when you get to the 2s, the 3s, and the 4s in the depth chart, it's another world, right? Oklahoma's going to definitely out Jimmy and Joe Temple. So I would look for Oklahoma to get the win. Could be interesting early, probably. South Alabama at Auburn. I mean, that's going to be like another, Temple OU. I think, they match up really well through the first quarter, but through the quarters 2, 3, and 4, they don't match up well at all. Louisiana at Missouri. Missouri's going to smash Louisiana. Louisiana did not look good. We're going to talk about Georgia, Tennessee. UTEP at Texas. It is what it is. Alcorn State at Mississippi State. Mississippi State's going to go 2 in a row. They're going to go back-to-back. We'll talk about Ark and Ole Miss and Florida and LSU and Texas A&M at Notre Dame. We've already said that Eastern Michigan's going to lose to Kentucky, and Vandy and South Carolina make our head-to-head games. All right, we're going to move on to the Sun Belt, which if Hunter were here, he would say there's only one team in the Sun Belt. Everybody else is trash. We've already talked about Memphis and Troy, South Alabama and that. Iowa State at Arkansas State. Arkansas State got smashed last week. They will get smashed again this week. Iowa State's favored by 21.5. They are playing this in Jonesboro, Arkansas, which I don't know how much money you pay Iowa State to come to you. Eastern Kentucky at Marshall. Marshall, this may be their only win of the season. Old Dominion at Va-Tech. If you want to talk about an upset, we can see an upset here. Old Dominion is just good enough to beat a really bad Va-Tech team. And then we're talking about the coaches' firing pool. Who gets shit canned first, right? Brent Pry is definitely on the shit can. What's that?
Deshaun Foster.
He's definitely on the shit can list too. So we may have to have a pool, an inner panelist pool of who gets shit canned first.
Shit can pool?
Yeah, the shit can pool. It's a terrible thing to say. You know what I mean?
It's part of the game.
Unemployment is an awful thing to think about.
They'll be fine. They'll land on their feet.
He'll land on his feet. All right, Jayville State at Georgia Southern. We already talked about Murray State, the Racers at Georgia State. I don't care about that one. App State at Southern Miss. Southern Miss is a really good team. App State's favored them this one, but if Southern Miss won that game, it wouldn't surprise me. East Carolina at Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina's not very good. ECU with the dub. I'm going there. And then Texas State at Arizona State. It's in our ones to watch, and they play that game at 9:30 Central Time, which is 7:30 Jude time, 8:30 Mountain Time, and who gives a shit what time it is in Arizona? All right.
The Arizonans, right?
I don't give a shit about Arizona.
Screw 'em.
No, Lizzie, fuck them. We're keeping them in the podcast. Nobody's canceling this podcast. Fuck them. And if you care about any of the leagues, join us on Friday nights when we talk about all other football. We won't be. All right, let's get into the ones to watch. Our head-to-head action here. I'm going to switch this banner over. We're going to get Jude moving here because he's probably got to get back to work. Lunch break's almost over. All right, Jude. North Carolina State at Wake Forest. We all took North Carolina State. Currently,
sweet.
Did we win? Lindsay, can we get an update on that score?
Oh, yeah. 34-24 NC State.
All right. Do I get to keep the win because I had my pick in kind of late? When North Carolina State was down 14, I still picked them.
No, but you had mentioned that. We had talked. I think I'm pretty sure you even had them underlined on your picks when you sent them out.
Well,
Isn't that kind of
no? That's the favorite. That's whenever because I send you all the spread.
Oh,
that's who Vegas has favored on there. I mean, I would love to take the credit for it.
We were willing to misinterpret it to your advantage. I'm just saying.
Okay, we're all 1-0. All right, moving on to Friday night at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN. Colorado travels to take on the Houston Cougars at Cougar High. We're all unanimous. We've all taken Houston on this one.
Yep.
And Houston's actually favored in this one by 4.5. I don't see a way that Colorado wins at Houston. And it's not because Houston's this dominant team. It's because Colorado's blew through 3 quarterbacks in a game against a Division II opponent.
And I don't see a way
that has me
Colorado's
concerned.
gonna keep the game nearly as close as the line would indicate. There's no way that Houston isn't going to get way over.
I think they do, and the only reason is because Dion has made an effort to run the ball a lot more this year, and I think that'll keep them close. But close is no cigar.
Yeah.
Brian Stewart says Packers win. They're 2-0. Packers win. Packers win. All right, Jude and I are like, fuck the Packers.
exactly.
I have a new reason to watch the Steelers now.
The Steelers.
Yeah.
All right, here's a scary thought. Number 12, Clemson, travels to Georgia Tech at 11 a.m. on Saturday on the 4-letter network, ESPN. Clemson's favored by 3.5 points, a 54.5-point spread, and we've all taken Georgia Tech because we saw that game against Troy, and we don't believe in Clemson. That's what I'm saying. Is that what y'all are saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I say, Jude said.
He lost. Clay Kubnik lost the Heisman 2 weeks ago.
Well, he did not look good. All right. We're going to move on to Wisconsin and Alabama. We have a split pot here. A split house. At 11 a.m. on Saturday on the 3-letter network, that's ABC. We have Alabama hosting Wisconsin. Bama's a 21.5-point favorite, 51.5 points. I'm going to tell you right now. Take Wisconsin to cover the spread. To cover the spread. Even if you don't think they're going to win, take them to cover the spread. You're like, but Cass, Alabama scored 849,362 points last week. And I'm telling you, they're only going to score 24 this week. 24-21, Alabama wins. You heard it here first.
Close game.
Now, if I hit that, we're all going to buy lottery tickets and we'll be billionaires. Oh, wait, hold on. Tomorrow I won. Damn it. Week too late. But I do have the winning numbers now for the lottery for last week.
Oh, good.
Does that still count? Can I buy the ticket after the fact and just slide in on that one?
No, the odds would probably be the same. The same number would come up
Didn't Biff do something like that in Back to the Future?
He had the sports book.
That's
Oh, you
right.
know what? He had the sports almanac. And Lindsay hates sequels, by the way. All sequels,
Not
including
only all
that one.
sequels, the Back to the Future sequels are actually pretty good.
Which is your favorite Back to the Future movie?
Oh,
the first one?
Oh, first one.
The more I watch it, the more I have to agree. The first one is the best one, hands down.
Fantastic.
But I do like the second one a lot.
I do. Yeah, I have no problem.
Yeah,
I like the storyline. The third one is it's just kind of like we wanted to make a third movie, but
Yep.
So all right, on back to football. Let's get the things that matter. Number 6, Georgia at number 13, Tennessee, Saturday, 2:30 p.m. on ABC. It's the SEC on ABC all day Saturday. They said 49.5 points, 3.5 point spread. Georgia has literally done nothing. They've showed no offense this year. They've been as vanilla gets. I'm telling you right now, we've all taken Georgia here. And I think we all are going to agree on this one. Georgia is going to slap the taste out of Tennessee's mouth.
Yeah, but they're not going to do
all
it on
agree?
offense, though. They have the better defense for this one. That's why they're going to win.
They have the better everything.
Yeah,
Their girlfriends are better looking. They drive nicer cars. Their bank accounts are a lot more full. Everything. Georgia does everything Tennessee does, but they do it better. Remember that BASF commercial? We don't make things. We make things better. Georgia makes things better. Georgia wins by a lot. Tennessee fans are going to be drunk, and they're going to go home angry. There's going to be a lot of black eyes that night. That's all I'm saying. I don't condone violence, but there's going to be a lot of black eyes. Maybe one, maybe two. Depends on how well they listen. Black eyes, though.
Why?
I don't condone it, but if someone's going to do it, I'm going to bet on it.
Why black guys? Why not white guys or brown guys?
No, black eyes.
I know.
They could have red eyes from all the crying. They have red eyes. This is a good thing nobody's watching at this point. Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry.
Is there a black person here? Have you guys seen that? Is there a black person here? You guys haven't seen that?
All right. No, I haven't. No. All right. On to a game that matters for Jude for many reasons. But I'm going to tell you why there's an important fact about this game. This is why it made the head-to-head matchup.
Give me 1 quick second.
All right, go ahead.
We'll be right back.
Oh, good. We can talk shit about him while he's gone.
Oh, we can't do that when he's here? Oh.
It's more fun when he comes back. Is what y'all say?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Do you have to go call out for the rest of his shift?
No, I'm sure he probably has to go take a whiz or something.
Why does he work so late?
No, I just had to clock back in from lunch, but I do it on my phone.
Well, we better speed you up.
No, I'm good.
All right.
I put lunch. I already let dispatch know, and I put lunch back to back with the break, so I'm still good.
All right, good deal. Well, let us know if we intrude. All right. Our next game is USC at Purdue. We've all taken SC to win the game, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Purdue covers the 21.5. Purdue's a lot better team this year under Barry Odom. I say they're going to cover it. They may only cover it by 1 or 2 points, but I say they're going to cover it. But SC wins the game outright.
That means Purdue's going to score 55 points? No way. No freaking way.
All right, Jude. What's the final score? Give me a prediction on the final score.
I said 55. That was pushing it. I'm going to say USC continues their offensive dominance over some subpar competition, and they will top 60 points again, and they win 63-24.
Ooh.
The only reason I'm going to tell you, the only reason I picked Purdue to cover the points is because Barry Odom's a run first, run second, run third, kind of invent lanes to run in. I just don't think there's going to be enough possessions to score 60 points. Could they hit upper 40s? I think. That's why I'm saying I think they could sneak in there on that upper 40s.
Yeah, I mean, you run first, second, and third is good when it's a close game or you got to lead, but you got to throw the ball when you're down 20.
Yeah, but I think we're going to see the lack of possessions to start the game. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if Purdue goes on a long drive and just eats up a lot of the first quarter. You know what I mean? It might turn into one of those games where you're going to play the fast game, they're going to play the slow game, and then as long as they don't give up a bunch of points, that's where I think that we could get to that differential. That's my thought. But the good news is they played the game, so we're going to find out.
What time is that
game? It's at 2:30, so it's 12:30 your time.
Oh, nice.
All right, the next game is a true rivalry game. Pitt at West Virginia. That's at 2:30 p.m. on ESPN. Pitt's favored by 6.5 points. 58.5 points is what it's going to take to play the game. Last week, WVU lost to Ohio. Now, they're kind of in a rebuilding season, but it's a rivalry game. So you got to throw all the records, all the thoughts out the window. WVU is going to be in this game. Jude and Lindsay have taken Pitt to win this game. Hunter and I have taken West Virginia. I'm going with Rich Rod. I'm going to take Rich Rod, and Rich Rod I trust. WVU wins. Jude says Pitt. Lindsay, tell me why Pitt is going to win the game, because Jude picked it for you?
That's one reason, but there's two reasons. The other is that Pittsburgh's have more potent offense, and if it's a higher scoring game than the line indicates, I'm going to go with the over, and I think Pitt will cover that spread.
All right. Our next game we're going to talk about is a surprising top 10 team, or top 20 team. The number 18 USF Bulls versus the number 5 Miami Hurricanes at 3:30 p.m. on the CW network. Miami's favored by 16.5 points, 56.5 points to play the game. Believe it or not, Jude, we did not agree on this one. I thought long and hard about picking this, but USF has gotten away with a lot of fortunate stuff with their quarterback being the absolute stud he is. Miami's defense really roughed up Notre Dame. I think Miami's defense can rough up USF's defense. I think USF keeps it close, but I'm taking Miami to win the game. Jude and Lindsay, believe it or not, are not agreeing with me. They're taking USF to win the game. Jude, tell me a reason USF wins this game.
Man, I've said it all last year. I say it all this year. I don't believe in Miami. I don't believe in Mario Cristobal. I just don't think, man, they're not the same team that they were 25 years ago. They'll never be that team again. They're going to have smoke and mirrors and win some games. But when it comes to a team that's going to be able to, I guess if Miami's going to try to look past USF, and USF's going to punch them in the gut.
All right. You ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
This one right here is going to be interesting. Arkansas travels to number 17 Ole Miss Saturday, 6 p.m. on ESPN. Ole Miss is the favorite by 6.5 points, 61.5 points. So the experts are saying that there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. It's going to be a close game. Believe it or not, I am the contrarian with the panel. I picked Arkansas to win the game. The panel has picked Ole Miss. I'm sure my son is telling me, Dad, what are you doing? I'm like, son, I got to be different some way. I think Taylor Green and the Razorbacks, they bring it home. I think it's going to be a lot of offense in this game. Ole Miss did have a down game last week, but I think they rebound, but I really think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I'd say take the over. I don't think 61.5 points is enough. I'm talking 47-44. The Pigs get the win.
Wow.
Holy cow.
The lane trains, this is the year they make a playoff and they make a run. So Arkansas will not be the team that beats them.
All right. And then we're talking about coaches, the shit can pool here. Coaches on the hot seat. Florida travels to LSU to take on the Tigers in Death Valley. This game happens at 6:30 p.m. on ABC. LSU's favored by 7.5. That could be touchdowns. Not just points. That could be touchdowns. I watched a really lackluster Florida team lose to USF, University of South Florida. South Florida basically was given the game. Florida coached their way out of a win twice. Their quarterback looks like he's very overweight and he's very slow right now. I know over the offseason he bragged about all this muscle he put on, but he looks like he's been eating for 3.
He's cultivating.
He looks too
that.
big. He looks way too big. He looks way too slow. He's not the same guy he was last year. I think he's put on too much size. So, but it doesn't matter. LSU's going to rough him up. The defensive line is going to maul him. The defense is going to maul him, and LSU's going to score on the first 6 possessions. The game's going to be over by halftime, and Florida, Billy Napier will be over by the end of the fourth quarter. So I'm going to go with LSU. The panel takes LSU. Jude, do you see anything different in that game?
No, you're right about Billy Napier being on the hot seat as well.
I mean,
Definitely.
right now we have 3 coaches that could probably be fired this weekend. And I think if one gets fired, I think the other 2 probably go pretty soon because everybody's competing for the next big guy, whoever that is. I think it's probably Brian, not Brian Harsin, the kid from Ohio State, the offensive coordinator from Ohio State. I wish my son was here right now so he could tell us these details. Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline, I think, is the next big name you'll see. So we'll have to see on that. But all right, our next game we're going to cover is Texas A&M at Notre Dame at 6:30 p.m. on NBC. That's the national broadcasting channel. The Fighting Irish are favored by 6.5 with 49.5 points. I think Notre Dame rebounds from that Week 1 loss with the off week, and they beat A&M solidly 20-7. 20-7. You heard it here first. I'm taking the Irish. Jude, I know it pains you, but you took the Irish because you like to win more than you like to cheer for Notre Dame.
Pretty much. And I think you're pretty close on that score. 20-7 is a good score. 24-14, yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, Notre Dame's definitely going to win this game. They're definitely going to rebound.
All right, now we get into the fun ones here. At 6:45 p.m. on the SEC Network, the Vanderbilt Commodores travel to the number 11 South Carolina Gamecocks. South Carolina is favored by 5.5. Vegas is 48.5 points. I'd say this is a little bit of a low-scoring game. South Carolina wins the game. We've all taken South Carolina. I say Vandy makes it interesting. A lot of interesting. Vandy's a lot better than what people think. I think they make it interesting. I would say take South Carolina to win. Take the over on points, but take South Carolina to cover. I'm going out there. Lindsay, do you see anything different?
No, I think Vanderbilt may not ever have the lead, but they're always going to be right behind. And I do believe it'll be close enough to keep it interesting all game long. But ultimately, I agree with you. It's not gonna be anything that Vanderbilt is going to even taste victory on. They're always going to be playing from behind on this one.
All right, our next game is the Battle of the Smart Kids. That's Duke at Tulane, 7 p.m. Espen 2. Duke is favored by 1.5. Vegas is 54.5 points to play the game. I'm saying that Tulane wins. Y'all are saying that Duke wins, but I'm saying the average GPA at this game is higher than I'll ever see. So, Jude, give me your position. Why does Duke win this game? And I'm going to tell you that Darian Mensah and the Green – does he play at the Green Wave? No, he plays at Duke. Why Tulane's going to win this game? I don't know why Tulane. I'm just picking Tulane just to be different. Be contrarian. Y'all take a Duke. What do you think, Jude?
Nah, I like Duke to win this game. I think they can air it out a little bit, put some points on the board.
All right, our next game is Navy at Tulsa. Tulsa is much improved. Navy's on a freight train. They're on a steamship. They're charging their way to possibly be the first group of six school to go to the playoff, but also being the first service academy to go to the group of six playoff or to go to the college football playoff.
That would be
Lindsay,
awesome.
we're all taking Navy. If you see Navy, anything that says Navy's not going to win this game by Vegas says it is 13.5. I'm going to say Tulsa covers at 13.5, but Navy wins like something like 35 to 24.
I don't know about covering that spread. I wouldn't be surprised to see Navy walk away with it a little bit and come out even farther apart than what the line indicates. And I'm not shy to take the over on this one either, because I think there'll be enough scoring to more than satisfy that. And I do see Navy handily taking care of Tulsa. I wouldn't be surprised if if there was a 21-point differential in this one.
All right. We have another Service Academy playing on Saturday at 8:45 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. The Air Force Academy travels to somewhere in Utah. I don't know where Utah State is. Somebody can look that up. Google that up for me. Google machine.
They're going to Maverick Stadium in Logan, Utah.
Logan, Utah. I still don't know where Logan, Utah is. Probably a nice place.
Within the boundaries of Utah.
Air Force Academy is favored by 3.5. 50.5 points to play the game. Jude's going with the Air Force Academy. Lindsay's going with the Air Force Academy. I am the contrarian. I'm saying Bronco Mendenhall and the Aggies win this game somehow.
Not
Jude,
a bad prediction.
Jude, Air Force Academy is your service academy.
Yes, sir.
What is your prediction in the game?
21-7.
21-7. Wow. You're saying that that's 21-7. I definitely will be asleep in that game. All right. Now we're going to move on to a couple of games you know I'm not making the end of. Minnesota and Cal. This game happens at 9:30 p.m. on ESPN. My time. 7:30 Jude time. 10:30 in New York. Who gives a shit what time it is in France?
Be asleep by the end of the first quarter.
So I'll be asleep before the kickoff. Minnesota favored by 1.5. Vegas says 42.5 to play the game. I took Cal. Y'all took Minnesota. Sure. I'm going Cal, only because Minnesota's not used to staying up that late. I picked that game and I looked at it and I go, the people in Minnesota would be like, it's just a little too late to stay up to watch that game.
College kids, not only up that late, they'll be drunk by 2 a.m. anyway.
Well, that's not good because they'll still be playing this game at 2 a.m.
They could still win drunk. They can win with blood alcohol content at 0.25.
They're not Irish.
Well, that's why Notre Dame's going to do so well.
Oh, they're not Irish either. All right, Jude, I gotta have the voice of reason. Why does Minnesota win this game over Cal?
I think they're just a better team, and Cal, man, after the way they played last year, they were probably the best bad record team in the country last year. They lost so many nail biters. It's hard to rebound from that. Minnesota's just the better team, and they're going to win.
Minnesota knows how to play in the cold weather. What else do you need to say?
They're playing in Cal.
They're playing in Cal, but
that's not that point.
Berkeley. Is it cold in Berkeley, Jude? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, probably if get the cold shoulder from some of them college students up there that are all woke. All them woke college students.
Oh, the cold shoulder from the hobnobbies there. All right, now our final head-to-head matchup. We have the Texas State Bobcats traveling to Sun Devil Stadium to take on the Arizona State Wildcats. 9:30 p.m. on TNT, HBO Max, YouTube TV. I don't know. You can watch it wherever. Arizona State's favored by 15.5. Vegas says 59.5 points to play this game. Hunter said one thing. If I'm going to say, Daddy goes, tell him one thing. He goes,
I know what it is.
Brad Jackson. You just need to know this name, Brad Jackson. Look for Brad Jackson in this game.
Who is Brad
Hunter
Jackson?
takes Texas State in this game. I take Texas State. Jude and Lindsay take Arizona State. I think Texas State gets revenge for the game last year. Wins this one. It's going to be a last possession drive, in my opinion. I don't think that this is going to be a walk-away game in either direction. I think it's going to take a final drive to win this game. Arizona State hasn't looked good without Cam Scadaboo, as much as I didn't want to say that. They don't. Sam Levitt looks very ordinary. I go Texas State. Jude and Lindsay are going to Arizona State. I'll let them explain it to you why they're picking A-State. Go.
Arizona State stumbled last week a little bit against Mississippi State, I believe it was. But, man, there was a reason in our group chat we got a message, down goes ASU. You know, that's a reference to a great fight. And when a great fighter went down and everybody was shocked, you know, and we were shocked. Down went ASU because they're a good team. I'm not saying Texas State's not a good team, but I just don't think they're up to par with what, you know, Arizona State has to offer. And it's not just because I'm partial to all them old Pac-12 schools either.
I will say this. Texas State has the largest offensive line in college football. And they're not they're not a bunch of bag of dough either. They're a bunch of big dudes. So I'm not saying they're all chiseled like, you know, if I took my shirt off right now, the ladies would just be dropping left and right for me. All right, so I'm bullshit.
All the men want to be you, all the women want to be with you.
Yep. Best there ever was, best there ever is, best there ever will be.
That's right. Hitman.
All right.
Was that our last head-to-head game?
That's our last head-to-head game. So we have some differential between all of us, except for you and Lindsay. You and Lindsay will have the exact same record next week.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
So one of these weeks, I'm going to make Lindsay pick his games before you pick your games.
Okay, well, it'll still come out the same. If Jude has any semblance of class, it'll still come out the same.
Gotcha.
Hey, guys. Now that our games are picked, man, I'm going to tap out, man. I'll see you all next week.
All right, brother.
That'll work, Jude. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care, man.
Yep.
Bye.
I don't know what he's talking about. Madness. What do you think, Lindsay? Did you have a good show?
It's always a good show. I think Pat Paulson nailed it. Ted Danson has not said kind things about me in the past. I don't know why.
Ted Danson. The fuck's he ever done?
He peaked in Cheers, is what I'm saying.
Peaked in Cheers.
Yep.
He ruined CSI.
I never watched the show because Ted Danson was in it. And who wants to see a post-Cheers Ted Danson? Nobody.
It's so bad that Whoopi Goldberg left him.
Oh.
All right, we probably ought to stop while we're ahead, huh?
All right.
I'm not ready to leave yet. I'm going to hang out here for a couple more minutes. We're just going to shoot the breeze. Just a couple guys causing trouble here.
Shoot the breeze.
Hey! I don't know anything else good. I guess last week, if I had to go back and look at a game from last week, a reflection period here, a game from last week, the Baylor-SMU game was pretty good, considering SMU basically gave Baylor the win late.
I would love to have an opinion on anything that happened last week, but I can't because I didn't watch anything because I was sick as a dog.
That's why you should watch, because football makes you better.
Well, I got healthy again.
There you go. Yep. I watched a lot of football. I hurt my back last week again, so I'm kind of on the mend. I was better by Monday. Believe it or not, it was actually, but I couldn't walk part of Saturday. I was pretty much paralyzed. Then I was able to get my nerve impingement to a comfortable place, and then by Monday morning I was solid.
Wow.
That was
Well,
good.
I had a record recovery from the nastiest groin strain I've ever had.
Dick strain?
Yep. I had a black and blue on the inside of my thigh, this big. It was awesome. And I immediately went right back to the gym and started working it out. And I
would have said it was like this. You know what I mean? I would have said it was like this. That's all I'm saying.
I want to
I
brag.
would be like, hey, you should have seen.
Pat's watching. He's going to take it personally. And I don't want to offend him. I like Pat. So, yeah. Right now I'm feeling pretty healthy, too. So I got it all.
Well, good deal.
All my ducks are in a row this week anyway.
Yep. All right. Well, it's late 30 here. I got to be at work in the morning. I don't have a Lindsay schedule where I get to do banker's hours.
Yeah. I'm sure Brian has a similar schedule.
Yep.
No, Pat, you're good. No,
you're good. All right, you ready to wrap it up, Lindsay?
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Say goodbye, Lindsay.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Brian, Pat, and was anyone else with us tonight?
That's it.
Right?
Yep.
Thanks, guys. It's always good to see you. Good to have friends out there who are willing to tune in and laugh along with us. Until next week, be safe.
Yep. Remember, like I said, life's too short to be angry. Make sure you tell everybody that you care about, that you love them. And remember, the team that always scores the most points always wins the game. Thanks for watching.